my name is Sisi and I'm doing my MJC2. Yep, and we are asked to find a real example of someone having challenges living in a country other than Singapore that could be explained using the 7 Ds. So I've actually researched, and the country that I chose is actually China. So I've actually found this website. Yeah, can you see? Yeah, this website right here. Yep. And it's actually written by this guy named Gregory Mavrites. Yeah, and apparently he is a, what's that called? American. Yeah, you can see he's an American. Yeah, can you see it? Yeah, American whatsoever he is. I don't think it really matters. So okay, so sorry. uh yeah, there he actually wrote this blog, I guess, about him having culture shock in China. So he's an American lah. Yeah, and he wrote many things like, example, language barrier, and currency, his this and that. But the most important part for me, I mean, the part that caught my attention the most was actually this part, which is actually okay, hold on, which is actually this last minute scheduling changes, oops, and appointments. Yeah, so I think you can see this part. Yeah, last minute. Yeah. So apparently, because in America, things such as just minor like holidays and everything, they will actually be informed beforehand. But in China, they are very last minute, because like things like as mentioned over here, it just you just might like receive a call, to have dinner at 6 when it's like at 3 p.m. So it's all very impromptu and very last minute. Yeah, so this is the difference that is faced by the guy lah. Okay, and because from, yeah, in Western perspective, Westerners, they usually will be informed beforehand, and it's like more organized and all. But in China it's different, because it's how like their government and everything works as well lah, as mentioned over here. So yeah, so as for this, right, what I have actually uh like found, and I feel that is the dimension that is actually showing, is actually the universalism and particularism. Yeah, because for the Westerners, which is in this case is the Americans, they are actually more, I mean, the American guy is actually like more universalism, because is like they expect things to, like, be informed and like nicely and everything. But for the China people, because they've been, like, in a sense, brought up in this way. That is why they don't really follow the rules as well, because for universalism, there's like the rules is very clear and everything. But for China is not. Is they are more, about this kind of relationships, in a sense. So that's what I feel. Yeah, sorry. Give me a moment. Yeah, so this is the main reason, I guess. And how to avoid, hold on. So in a whole, um because no matter, as mentioned in the article, no matter how many like complaints or whatsoever that they give, nothing's gonna change. So I feel the best way to overcome this, for the people who come from a universalism culture, is to adapt with this kind of last minute things. It's not that anything wrong with their culture, because in different countries have different cultures. But it is very difficult for the US people, the Westerners to to follow and get used to it, but to be able to, they have to take some time, maybe like as mentioned, a few months, and after that they will be more used to it, I guess. So, for the last part, is this a country you consider living in? Justify your answers with appropriate reasons, with reference to 70s. So, for me personally, because I am, I believe that I would actually consider living in China because uh, for even though that like Singapore, as in I'm a Singaporean, and Singapore is more of how to say, more of universalism, I guess, because everything is like by the book and all. But I'm pretty sure, like, as a student in Singapore, like sometimes you would like want your lecturers or your tutors to be more linear with like whatsoever lah. So I guess that I would consider living in China because for instance, like uh as in, even though it is more how to say, it is uh, things come out last minute and stuff, but I guess it's because of this their way of living that it helps them gain a bit more life skills, because as they're used to having these kind of last minute things crop up and everything, so it actually like increases their what's that, it increases their ability to actually like, you know deal with last minute situations that crop up, even like let's say in the society and all. So for me personally, if I was given a chance to live in China, I mean, like, I guess like I would get used to it, and like it would help me gain a life skill lah. So I would actually consider living in China. And because they are more particularism, so because sometimes when you go by the book, it is like by laws and everything, as in a sense, for the country as a whole, it is it is good because it gives us a regulation kind of thing. But for personal level, I believe that sometimes relationships is more important, like when it comes to work, and like working together and stuff. Because if let's say it's always like very very rigid, people cannot really work together that well. So I feel that yeah, being more particularism-ish is actually better at times as well lah. Yeah, so that is what I feel. And yeah, yep, I will choose to leave it. Yeah, even though the offsides are like the like the safety and everything, but I still feel that you know why not. Yeah, so I think that's it for my entry 2.